Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices, starting with the DAX on the daily chart here. This is pretty much the dilemma for all of the European indices, is that do we have wave 4 in place here, or do we look for a larger wave 4 as such down towards the 12,000 or even above that, but looking at that gap there as a bit of a milestone there as well. So this is pretty much the situation, either an A and a B and a C wave down here for wave 4, and then we move up, or we can still move up from here in some of the indices, but the DAX is the one that's fallen the most here, so it will probably lead the way for the others as well. So just moving in here on the 4-hour chart here, so it would be looking a little bit like that. Wave C here would be roughly the same length as wave A here, if that's going to be the case. This little leg coming down through here, we can start to look at the wave structure on that. But because it's moved down so far here, we've only got, in all of the indices, we've only got 3 waves up here. In some of the other indices, it hasn't pulled back this far down here, and some of the indices have also had a much stronger third wave up here. But the DAX is the one that's pulled back the most. So if we stay with this little structure that's coming down through here, we can pretty much look at it like this on the hourly chart here. There's wave 1 and 2 here, or even we can move higher from that point there as well. But in a nutshell, we can look at wave 4 to pull back 38.2%, and then moving down here lower as well. So on the tick chart here, this is the wave 4 I was looking at here. Now, the 38.2% retracement level is actually higher up here, but at the same time, I can see from this low here that we've got an A wave, a B wave, and then this makes wave 1 and 2 and 3 with an, not 3 to here. Yep. Yeah, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to third, fourth, and then this looks like wave 1 and 2 here. This is a little bit messy in here, so I'm a little bit unsure, but basically you could have another little move up through here, but it does at this stage have an A and a B and a C here, so it's possible for it to move down. But the short trade for this would be, when we're looking with the levels here, we wouldn't go short above group 1 here. So it's 12,400, then 10, 20 and 30, so that makes up group 1. So if we were going to short a market in this area here, then we would need the pivot here, the number 2 in group 1, as the tested resistance. Okay, so we're not in a short situation here just yet, even though that the wave count suggests that we could be ending this ABC here. There could be another little wave up here to finish this in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up to here. And then I guess if the midpoint became, the 50 became the retested resistance, then you can work it from that point there. But at this stage here, it's the 420 that would be the safe short trade at that stage there, with wave 5 moving down. When we look at the AEX, for instance, here, we'd always thought that, we know that the 500 was the 38.2% retracement level we were looking at. I thought it may have pulled, come down here, or sort of wishing it down, so to speak, but it's moved up. But because it hasn't hit that 38.2% retracement level, it's possible that we can still obviously get there. This little move up through here, let's just go into the hourly chart to have a look at that here. So it's possible wave 4 can be in play, but it's also possible that all of this leg coming down here is just the A wave. And then if that's the case, then and the DAX is pointing this way, then we have to look at this as wave A, B and C here for this wave B here in blue. Put that in there in blue. Like that, and then we work down from here. But it's also still possible. This is pulled down just a tad past the 38.2% retracement level, but it's also pulled back to the wave 4 of 1 less degree. So I'm okay with that. So it still can be wave 1 here, and wave 2 here, and wave 3 here, and this is wave 4 and wave 5. Now, the DAX wouldn't suggest that, and it does look a little bit bearish through here at the moment. If I just go to the tick chart, I'll be able to give you the number to the upside, because we'd want to look at this move here. Right, so this move down through here, I suppose you could count it as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 down here, but it could also be counted as a wave A here, then an A and a B and a C wave to here, and then down to here. So basically an A, B and C. I don't know about that, but what we can do is that's the main number here, the 520, and if you're going to short this, then the short trade would be under this level here as such. You could go a little bit higher here as well, but the main number here really is, if I can just move that, is the 18 here. You can see all the open and closes in here, so but you know number 8 is more important than 7, and more important than 9 as well. So on the upside here, we'll be looking at a 61.8% retracement level, so that's going to bring us in at close to this number here, probably just a tad higher, but it's still a good number, the 21, because it was resistance, it was support. Yeah, not much here, but if that became support, the 21, then you can trade long at that point. But otherwise, this is the space that it's going to fail in and move down, if it was going to move down further. So the long trade is 521 as support, and the short trade is 18 as resistance. But you could get that earlier there as well. But the thing is you know that if this moved up here and then back down here, so if it moved down to the 18, you know it's weak at that point, but you can't actually short it there because it's going to bounce, isn't it? So you need to work out the bounce, how you can sort of short the bounce at that point. So yeah, look for 3 waves in that little section there to short. So yeah, just going back over that a little bit here, just on the 4-hour chart, we don't know if this is all wave A here, and then this is wave B here, and then down for wave C here, or this is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up here. I don't have 5 waves up here so far, so it's still a bit of a problem. But the DAX has moved down strongly, so it's probably likely that we need to look at the move up here as an A and a B and a C wave here, and that was our 60, 50 and 60. That was our box, basically, you know. So that's probably what we're looking at there. France is much the same. The UK market is also much the same as well. It's the same sort of dilemma, just on the daily chart here. We've got it in a corrective pattern coming down. It's possible that that wave 4 can already be in play here, but at the same time, this whole move down through here can just be the first leg. As I've probably mentioned before here, that we weren't going to short this market unless the 73 here was breached, or we could figure out any rally up here. If it was corrective and we knew that it was a corrective rally, well, then we can look to short at a higher space in here as well. So that's what we sort of need to look at. So I'll just go to the hourly chart, I think, here. So yeah, I've sort of looked at all the options here for this, and this most simplest strategy that I can come up with is that this low here, okay, if that's breached, then you can go short from that point. Okay, you can short it from there if that's breached. The flip side here is that this little move up here, that high here, if that's breached, then you can go long from there. Okay, so you can go long on that one and short on that one. Now I've put the one in the middle here. This is higher risk. Okay, so you can go on top of that one there, but it is higher risk, and you wouldn't want to put a full position in there. You would use the 7,400, then you'd use group 1, 10, 20 and 30 to scale into breaking the positions up into 3 parts. And then if the 50 became the support, then you can move in on that one there as well. There's a reasonable case here too for this market to move straight on down here. Yeah, it makes it basically the way that would work, just for information, is down for 1 here, and then an A wave, a B wave and a C wave up to this point here, then down for 1 here, back for 2 here, and then down for 3 here. So it can quite easily move down from this point here as well. So that's why I put that there. But I'll just remove this higher risk entry there, and yeah, but you can look at the high on this one here, which is close to 74.10, and drill in there and see if that 10 becomes support. If that gets a tested support, well then just slowly build in from that point there. You could build, if you're scalping, you could go on the micro numbers. So you got 10, and then you've got 11, 12 and 13. 13's the top of group 1, and then 15 be problems at 18 and so on, build in from that side of it. But this is the simplest way, because at the end of the day, the guessing game of analysis is one thing, but trade setups and signals are another thing. And sure, some have more confidence than others and so on. But the DAX has done a bit of a dive. We're still looking at the S&P 500 to move higher, so there is that influence to move higher. And in this case here, if it moved higher, we still have to be mindful too, because this wave 3 up here may not be a wave 3. This little 5 waves, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, could be make all of this here an A wave, a B wave and a C wave to here. So if I just copy that here and put that there as wave A here, just to give us a thing here, and copy this, and this is just another count that can be played out, so yeah, which makes up that wave B there. All right, I'll leave it at that. The European markets are just really messy. Probably sort of reflects the social mood that's going on in that space at the moment, I guess. Alrighty, cheers.